I'm Dr. Cody Musselman. I am a scholar of American religion and a preceptor at Harvard University. I'm currently working on a book tentatively titled Spiritual Exercises, Fitness, and Religion in Modern America, and it looks at the religion of American fitness culture. I chose this topic because the story of American fitness culture is either told as a completely secular story, or it's told as a primarily Christian story, or sometimes it's told as a story about the influence of yoga. And certainly the Christian component is really important, thinking about the history of muscular Christianity and its influence on American fitness. Certainly yoga, when it came to the US, has left a huge impact. But people miss that there's a lot of religion in American fitness culture writ large, not only thinking about yoga and muscular Christianity. There are so many fitness pioneers that had religious treatises that they wrote or religious ideas that they wanted to convey through their physical practices. And so I want to get into a little bit of that history, but my project is also primarily an ethnography where I study brands like CrossFit and SoulCycle and talk to people today who are doing exercise and finding spiritual purpose and spiritual meaning in those exercise experiences. My most recent publication is a small article entitled Loyal to the Oil, which I co-authored with a previous CURA fellow, Judith Ellen Brunton. She's a Canadian scholar of oil culture and oil cosmologies, and I'm a scholar of embodiment and religion and sport. And together we wrote about the Edmonton Oilers, the hockey team, and their experience in the Stanley Cup. And so that article is available on The Conversation, and people can read about it. They can read about finding religion in unexpected places like the oil field or like in sports fandom. The thing that excites me the most about religious studies as a field is that it's so varied. There's so many different disciplines that feed religious studies. There's so many different methods. You could do textual analysis, interviews, language study. But I also find it so exciting that everybody's circling around an idea that doesn't have a definition or that has many contested definitions. So I think that's one really exciting thing about religious studies. I think religious studies is also really exciting because it's really accessible to people outside of the field. Everybody interacts with religion in some way or another. Even if you're an atheist, you have an opinion about religion. And so I think that makes our topic really fun to talk about with people, and it invites people into our areas of expertise. And I think the variability that you see within the field is just mirrored in the world at large. I also find religious studies something really exciting to learn about and to think about because often religion is at the core of people's identities. You know, it informs some of their core beliefs and how they go about interacting with the world and how they see themselves. And in some sense, you know, that's the most fundamental way that you can connect with somebody is over what they believe. And I just think that's a beautiful way to connect with people. And so if you can bring that into the classroom and people can share their differences and we can learn about them, hopefully with empathy as well as some critical thought, I think that's an incredibly worthwhile endeavor. What I appreciate about CURA is that it brings together scholars from lots of different disciplines, international relations, political science, religious studies, anthropology, and we could all talk about a singular topic from really different angles, and you can gain a lot from learning from other people's expertise. And so that's something I really appreciate about CURA, as well as its convivial atmosphere. Everybody's really friendly and they're very generous with their feedback on your work, and they bring in excellent speakers. So I think it's a great space intellectually. I learned about CURA from a previous CURA member, my friend Judith Ellen Brunton, who I co-authored that piece, Loyal to the Oil, in The Conversation with. She told me about CURA and said it was a wonderful place to be if you're a scholar and you're in Boston and you think about religion.